Cool. Okay, good evening, everyone. This is the monthly meeting of the Southwick Agricultural Commission. It is 7 p.m. on June 9th. We have myself, Bert Hansen, Zach Barnett, Ron Cicchini, Dan Cook, Tammy Sayak-Bisalan, Dennis Clark, Jean Nilsson, and here comes Brett Colson. And as a guest, Chris Mastriani. Hi, Brett. And I saw Marissa a little earlier today, and she was planning to come. So I'm
yeah,
not sure.
she told me she said she'd be here. So
Yeah.
but she really wants to talk about the coastal property also.
Yeah. Okay.
So maybe you could go over a couple of things, and hopefully she gets here. We can talk about
Sure.
that. There's no minutes, Gene? Where'd Gene go?
I apologize. Little bit of a mess up with the minutes. So if you wouldn't mind tabling them till the next meeting, I'd appreciate it.
Oh man, now we got a table to the meetings. Hey,
I think
Fire me.
Gene, I think you should just recite them to us, right now. Oh, here's Marissa. How you doing?
Good evening, everyone. How are you guys?
Good.
I'm sure there's another secretary out there that wants my position.
no such luck.
Yeah. I just heard, speaking of open positions, of course, everybody in the world seems to be hiring. And I just heard on the evening news that the TSA is looking for volunteers. Can you imagine volunteering for that job?
Oh my God. No.
What kind of person would volunteer for that?
Man.
Well,
Anyway.
Yeah, so Bert, if you wanted to do it under public comments, you could.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So I don't know, Dennis, if you want to give us a little background, or Chris, do you want to just jump in and
I got
tell us what's going on?
an email earlier this week from Chris informing us that the property on Coast Hill Road was going up for sale. And I did CC everybody on that. I don't know if you got a chance to look at it. It's a beautiful piece of property. If you're driving up Coast Hill Road towards Hillside, on the right-hand side of the road, it's a partly wooded, partly a field, and there's a little shed on the corner.
Okay, yep.
And it's, do you want me to share my screen? I can show you where the, I can give you a visual of it. Let's see, whoops. Where is that screen share? Here it is, share screen. Okay, so this is Coast Hill Road. This is Hillside Road. This is the Broska farm. This is the Broska farm that's in APR at this time. This piece here, this is the first one of the first APRs. It is the very first APR we got with CPC money, community preservation money. And then this also, this is all APR, but this piece over here, we lost out on it. We tried to get it when Manny Legacy sold it. He was a hockey player. Him and his wife were going to build or something. And when he sold it, we tried to get the property, but we missed out on it at that time. And it is in Chapter 61A, so the town would have right of first refusal. But you know how these things work. We need to do some preliminary legwork on it and find out, because to come up with, I think the asking price is a couple $100,000 for it. Chris, do you know what the?
Yeah, the asking price is $375.
$375.
Yeah. It was purchased in 2014 for $200,000, and he's done a lot of renovations to that barn. I've seen it all happen. he put a, you know, new roof, a well, several things. If you read the real estate listing, you'll see a real laundry list of stuff that he did. But so that's kind of what, you know, his cost basis is, the 200,000 plus whatever improvements he did on that barn.
So this looks like it. Go ahead.
How many acres are we discussing within that land?
It's 18 and a half acres, and about 17.6 is in 61A right now. So I think basically everything except the little part that the barn is sitting on is 61A.
So this looks like it'd be a prime subject for a APR. I think this would be a great APR. But unfortunately, it has to be the owner of the property that applies to the APR unless we can find a land trust. We've kind of, Marissa, we've been kind of through this as an exercise with the property on Moore Vining Road. It would be something similar to what we're trying to do over there. And I don't know if you would take the initiative. I do have Elias's, I'm not sure if that's how you say his name, but I do have his contact information. I'd be happy to share it with you if you wanted to contact him and just say, you know, that part of our committee in the town is interested in preserving the property, and just explore the different avenues that maybe, you know, he might be interested, or, you know, at least touch base with him, because if we just go to the select board and say we want to exercise the 61A, that's going to fall flat because we don't have the money for it, and the town's not going to want to hold it up. So before it does, they do have a purchase and sale on it. You know, we should express our interest and make it known to the select board also that we're looking into it.
Certainly, I'd be happy to make contact and kind of establish a rapport. Just a question, I haven't had a chance to look at the real estate listing. Does anyone know if it's being noted more as a farm property, or is it being pitched as something that can be subdivided? Just, I'm trying to understand where their mind is right now in terms of, you know, how they're trying to sell it.
In the listing, they hint that it could be subdivided without actually saying definitely that it could be, but that language is part of the real estate listing, possible subdivision.
Gotcha.
Anything is possible, but this is riverfront area, you know, 200 feet over here.
Exactly.
There are some jurisdictional areas, plus this is the brook going through here. So there are some constraints, but I'm sure they could put a few houses out there, 2 or 3 houses probably.
Okay, yeah, exactly. All right, yeah, no, I'd be happy to. And Chris, I don't know if we'd have maybe the chance, you seem, you're adjacent to the property, is that correct? You live?
I'm at 60 Hillside, which is maybe less than a quarter of a mile north of there.
Okay, I don't know if you'd be open to maybe just chatting with me one-on-one a little bit more. I might have more specific questions about the property so that I go into the meeting maybe a little bit more prepared. Do you know the owner of the property?
I have met him soon after he purchased the property. I saw working going on at the barn, and I was curious about it. And when I stopped there, and it was an employee of his that was doing all this work, and I was just curious, you know, what was going on. And he said, "Oh, well, when you see a black pickup truck here, stop and see. That's the owner. His name is Aziz Elias." So one day, my wife and I were driving by, and we saw him there. So we stopped in, and he was enthusiastic about giving us a tour. And he said that he bought the property just to preserve his view. He lives at 111 Coes Hill Road, which is like on the other side of Coes Hill, up the hill, kind of across from where the stables are.
Gotcha.
And so that property is also up for sale for $1.7 million.
That's
So,
right here. This is the house thing.
I think I saw the sign yesterday as well when I drove by to look at this one. Yeah, I saw that they had the same realty company. So I wonder if there was a connection. Yeah.
Yes, there is a connection, and he purchased that to preserve his view, is how he told it to us. And he had this idea of becoming like a gentleman farmer. He bought some goats, he bought some chickens, and that part of it kind of faded away for one reason or another. But that was kind of his reason for doing that. And when I saw the sign at his house first go up, and then I came up the rest of the way, I said, oh, no, that the 32 Hillside is up for sale too, since it belongs to him. So that's when I started this dialogue with Dennis to see if there's something we could do. I also started a dialogue with the Franklin Land Trust, and they asked me for some more information. I gave them what I could, but I haven't heard back what their level of interest or whether they could even get involved with it is.
Chris, who did you talk to at the Franklin Land Trust? Was it Mary
Uh,
or was it
Mary
Elaine?
Lynn.
Mary? Okay. Yeah, we've got a good relationship. They're the ones that helped us preserve North Pond property. They did a lot of work for us over there.
Yeah, I sent her an email on the 1st, and I followed up with another one yesterday, because after speaking with you and learning about the North Pond thing, I just added that to the dialogue just so that, she was familiar with it. But it sounds like she's well versed in Southwick anyway, so.
Right.
Yeah, they'll have to write them a formal letter asking for their assistance in whatever way we can. It'd be the same type of deal as on the Mort Vining Road. If we can find a farmer, I've already contacted John Wally. I called him today because I know John wanted to preserve that property. He wants to take a ride out there and take a look at it. So we're going to do whatever we can to try to preserve that. And I think the commission tonight probably should take a formal vote on, interest in preserving that property, just so that everything is in writing and people don't say it was a big surprise to them when it comes up.
That sounds reasonable.
To clarification, Chris, so there's a few addresses that have been mentioned, and I just want to be sure I have it clear. So you're at 60 Hillside.
That's correct.
And Aziz is, if that's the right name, lives at 111 Coase Hill?
That's correct.
Okay. And then what's 32 Hillside?
That's also his property
Okay.
that he purchased across the street from Coase Hill to preserve the view from his
Okay.
house.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, thank you.
32 is this piece right here, Bert. This piece right here. Here's
Okay.
Coase Hill Road,
Where?
Hillside. It's on the corner. Is that new metal roof on that barn? This is, and we did write a letter of support for him to replace the bridge to get over there at one time. We did support him agriculturally that he could do a replacement without having to go through conservation.
Oh, well, that's a good point to know. Okay, that
Yeah.
could be an
yeah.
entry point of some sort. I was just wondering how to even initiate contact with him. If we have his personal contact details on file, if there's somebody who would be willing to maybe make an introduction via the commission, if we have worked with him before, or if Chris maybe would be comfortable. I'm not sure. I'm open to any suggestions. But
Yeah, I'm not, I haven't had any contact with him for about 5 years or so. So I'm not
Yeah.
sure. I think maybe an official overture, either through the realtor or through him personally. I know he has a business in Agawam, but that's pretty much all I know about him.
All right. Yeah, no, it's good to know everything that you've told us. And I think Dennis, having mentioned that we have helped him, or there has been some contact in the past with the commission.
Yeah, and he was very nice, very easy to deal with, very nice.
I'll contact the realtor then.
And, make an initial contact, and then if we need to get other people involved, which I'm sure we will, we'll, take it one step at a time. But just to get the word out there and to get our foot in the door and just make an honest attempt, because this
Of course.
would be, a prime piece of property. Anybody that's been out there realizes that the vista and just the farmland and the beaver ponds and.
Correct. Yeah, I concur. And I think we should take the formal vote. And after we do that, I'd like to mention something else, kind of bigger picture, but related to this. So.
I just want to add one other comment. When you were showing the satellite picture, Dennis, I think that field area is maintained by the same people who do the Broska field, because they seem to be cut at the same time. So whatever company comes in with their half a dozen pieces of equipment to hay that Nebraska farm field. They also do that, Mr. Elias's field.
Jeannie, do you know who does that? It must be a Solac or a Nebraska.
No, actually, my family does not. So no, I don't.
Dennis, can you outline the area you're talking about?
I've got, see my mouse, see where my cursor is? See that cursor right there? See that moving around, the cursor?
No,
No,
It's tough to see.
right there.
Let me see if I can do some kind of measure or something like
it's
that.
this way here.
Yeah,
On
no,
it?
no. There's the barn right there.
Oh,
See it
okay.
now?
There we go.
Yeah.
Here we
Oh,
go.
okay, I see it now. Okay, thank you.
That road
That's
there.
a nice piece of property.
Yeah, it's a gorgeous piece of property. One of the nicest pieces in Southwick, in my estimation.
Yeah, right, brook on it and everything.
Yeah,
Yeah, and sorry, which one is the Nebraska farm?
this one right here, the one next to it.
Just south
Oh,
of
okay.
that.
Okay,
Nebraska
what-
farm goes all the way here to here, across the street up here,
okay.
down there, there. The house is excluded from it, but
Okay.
So that's all preserved.
this is all APR, yeah.
Yeah.
And
nice.
this piece offer on this side, whoops, lost it, is also preserved. So it's, yeah, it's right next to APR land, so that's another factor. we've
That's
got
another,
going.
that's a plus, right?
I don't think they doubt it could be APR. It's just finding the, I don't even know if Isaias could do it because he's got so much money. If you make too much money, you can't APR your property. But
Oh.
if they find a farmer, if you can find somebody that wants to farm it and a land trust to bridge the loan, you know, that would be the only way we're gonna be able to do this one. You never know, but
When you go down that road, Dennis, come and talk to me. I might be interested in somehow participating financially in that.
yeah, really, if you want to buy it and then turn it into a farm,
Well, I don't want to buy it for that amount, and I don't want to be a farmer, but I might want to somehow, we mentioned a bridge. I might have to try to be a bridge somehow.
yeah, well, that's what we're looking for right now. Yeah, we'll keep
Okay,
it.
well, keep that in mind, and I'd be interested in learning more about what's involved with that.
Well, thank you so much for your email, your interest in alerting to us and showing up for the meeting is fantastic. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay,
What
Nice.
board are you on? You're on a board at the town hall?
I'm on the Board of Appeals.
Oh, you're on the ZBA? Ah. I thought I recognized you.
Yeah,
Well, Chris, I'm sorry, before you leave, there was one thing that I did want to mention. I wasn't aware that you were going to be at the meeting tonight, but I'm really glad you're here and thanks for being here. Just earlier discussing with Dennis on a site visit for the Conservation Commission and just having a conversation with a few other people in town who aren't formally on the AgCom or conservation. There is interest to develop some sort of Southwick land trust. Surrounding communities have that. Granby has one. Obviously, you mentioned the Franklin Land Trust, and they've been fantastic and just incredibly supportive despite the distance from Franklin down to Franklin County to here. Or I think they're based in Amherst technically. But it's something that a few of us have been ruminating on, and it will be difficult. It will have its challenges, obviously setting that up, but you have to start somewhere with anything. So if there is any interest on our part, and maybe just preliminary discussions or other people you know that, have a similar philosophy and want to see the town landscape and farmscapes preserved, let me know, and maybe we can have a Zoom meeting or meet in person or something and just kind of start,
Okay.
Building blocks
that-
potentially. I think
that
it's time.
that sounds like a very worthwhile endeavor, and I would be interested in maybe getting involved with that.
Great. Yeah, it's just initial stages at this point. I think it maybe be a focus group at most at this stage, just to kind of see if there is enough interest or support to even go in that direction, because it would be kind of a monumental thing. But again, you have to start somewhere with anything. So
Mhm.
It's just great to have
Okay.
your enthusiasm, though. Thank you.
I'm
Chris.
curious about that. I don't, not that we want to get into the
Are you any
nitty-gritty
relation to
here, but-
Jackie? Jackie Mastriani?
Oh, no. I,
Oh,
no, I'm not related to any of the Mastrianis.
well, my mother was a
I
Mastriani.
always laugh when I'm asked that question, because I always have to say no, not the hockey player, not the auto body
Yeah, well-
people, not any of them.
Yeah, nobody. Yeah, that's
Big
what I-
family.
Well, we're cousins of the Master. My mother was a Mastriani.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And Jackie and that whole bunch there.
Oh, okay. My father was Albert. He was a musician. That's we in from Springfield.
Yeah.
Uh,
Dennis, maybe you could share people's email addresses with me. I have your email, but it only lists people's names without the actual addresses in there. So if you could get
Oh,
that
yeah.
to me.
I will, I'll get that to you for sure, yeah.
Okay.
So we want to have an actual vote on expressing interest in this. Yes, I'm not,
Yes.
is that the wording that we should use? How do we actually word it? We need a motion, obviously.
So, how would you word it?
Yeah.
Initiate contact to, I don't know, ascertain the feasibility of APR. Something like that.
Okay.
I don't know, the Agricultural Commission initiates formal contact or tries to initiate formal contact with Mr. Aziz
Oh, yeah.
Bias to
Votes.
discuss possibility of APR with whatever the address.
How about the Agricultural Commission believes this property worthy of preserving as farmland and as scenic vista? You know,
Yes.
put it down, give some specifics of,
Yeah, it's
farm-
value. Yeah.
to the town of Southwick.
Okay, hang on a sec. So something like the Agricultural Commission believes that this property is worthy of preserving as farmland and for its scenic value, and plans to initiate contact with Mr. Elias to explore APR status. How about that?
Sounds good.
Okay, that's okay. I guess I'm making the motion.
I'll second that.
All in favor? Bert Hanson, aye, of course, and Dennis,
Aye.
aye. Let's see. Zach, I'm just going across my screen here. Zach, aye.
Aye.
Ron
I,
and Dan,
Aye.
Brett
Aye.
and Marissa.
Aye.
Okay. Oh, and I'm sorry, Tammy.
Aye.
Okay. I don't see your picture. I just see your name on the screen, so that's why.
Bert, thank you very much for moving that up to the agenda to get
Sure.
that item.
All right.
Of
Thanks,
course.
everybody. I'm glad to meet everyone, and maybe we'll be in more contact in the future.
Oh, absolutely. Thank
Hope
you
so.
much for
Yes.
reaching
Okay.
out.
Have a good meeting.
Thanks very much.
Thank
Take
you.
care.
Good night.
Have a good one.
Okay, so Gene, have we had any mail, email, anything? No? Okay.
Sorry, no,
Yeah.
there was
okay.
nothing but some advertisements in the mail this month.
Oh. Are we buying anything?
I'm giving you money, you better.
Yeah, you got the email, Dan, about there's what, $147 in the IBS account that we need to expend? There must be something for the garden that we need.
Yeah.
All right, I'll go over there and spend it.
Okay, good. I haven't responded to your email about that, Dennis, but I thought we'd say maybe some more supports for the fence posts or.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I'll think of something. I'll look at some of the stuff they have for fencing and stuff. Okay,
Okay, good. Thank you.
And when does that need to be done by, Gene?
I have to have everything by an invoice by the 21st,
21st of June.
21st of June.
All right, excellent.
10 days-ish.
And IBS generates an invoice as soon as you purchase, so as soon as I get that pink copy, that would be sufficient for payment.
Okay, so I'll just go down the list here. New business, the perimeter mowing at the Sofinowski Garden. And we still don't know who actually did that mowing.
It sounds like it was Ray Fox. It's hard for me to believe because Ray had trouble getting up my stairs when he came over, but it sounds like it was Ray that did it. Yeah,
Yeah.
God bless him.
Okay,
We need to get somebody, and sounds like you've been in touch with people, and sounds like you're on it, and it's how's it
Yeah,
looking for?
just talked to one person so far, Lonnie Keene of Keene Cut Landscaping, and she and I spent about an hour over there today, actually. I had no idea she was going to want to spend that much time. So she looked at, the mowing around the garden, and then we walked a lot of the trails, for trail maintenance. There was this, now this is kind of transitioning to more of a conservation issue, but there's a trail, the trails need maintenance pretty much throughout the Sofinowski property. There's a lot of wet areas, a lot of stony areas, some trees down. One area in particular, if you're sort of looking into the Sofinowski, it's on the right-hand side or the north side, some very wet areas over there. And so we looked at that, and my idea coming from the Conservation Commission meeting on was to actually, there's been some talk, I guess, for a while about repositioning one of the trails, but it looks like now, excuse me, it might be better to sort of renovate or maintain the low spots and the spots where there's trees down, and that could do more of a maintenance kind of thing rather than actually moving one of the trails. So that's what she's gonna give us 2 quotes, one on doing that and one on doing the mowing around the community garden. So, and she's aware of our fiscal year, deadline too. So we'll see. This is a person, I've used them for snow plowing. They've been very conscientious. And I learned today that they maintain 28 dam areas for the state. I'm not sure where these places are, but
They do nice work.
Yeah.
I would suggest, breaking this up into 2 separate categories. Number 1 is the perimeter mowing around the garden and
Yep.
maintaining that sign area with the flowers, because that has gotten overgrown and it looks pretty bad when it gets overgrown. And the kiosk, keep that as one. And then the second project would be to renovate those trails, because that's a long-term ongoing
Right.
project. We have to figure out, make sure we're not filling in wetlands out there too.
Oh, for sure. Right.
The road kind of went right through some real wet areas, and that's
Yeah.
why, I don't know, if we can use the existing trails, that would be great.
Yeah.
Last time we looked at it, we thought it probably should be moved, but that was
Yeah.
quite a few years ago.
Yeah, she's very aware of and into maintaining the trails as is, not destroying any habitat, putting in bridges rather than filling in, that kind of thing. What's funny though, so she's a Southwick native, lives on Vining Hill and does business in town. She had no idea there was a land preserve here. So we have trail work and PR work to do, I would say.
Gene, do you have a vendor number for Clean Cut? I know that they think they did work for the town at one time.
I'll probably do. If not, I would just need a W-9 from them and we can put in a vendor.
This doesn't have to
Okay.
go out for bid or anything, because especially seeing it's time sensitive. If
Right.
you got a good vendor you think is gonna give us a good price, like Shay did, then, you know, let's just do it.
Yeah.
We can take a vote on it if you want, just.
Oh, I don't know if we should vote until we see the quote. But then, of course, our meeting next month is after the fiscal year, so.
Yeah.
You can make the vote as a reasonable sum.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good
Okay.
idea. Yeah.
Okay, reasonable sum. Okay. Okay, so yeah, I'll make a motion that we proceed to do business with Keen Cut Landscaping for mowing around, for two projects, mowing around the community garden and maintaining the perennial gardens and the signboard there. And secondly, to do some trail maintenance in the Sofinowski property, you know, pending getting their quote and in light of that being, ending up being a reasonable cost. Seems wordy.
I'll second that.
Okay.
You got that,
So-
Gene?
Well, see, yeah. See, that's why it's good that we're recording now, these days. You know?
I get
So this is Bert Hanson. I'll vote aye. Dennis Clark?
Aye,
Aye.
aye.
Zach Barnett?
Aye.
Aye. Marissa Cook Obregon?
Aye.
Aye. 2 thumbs up. Okay, that's good. Ron Cicchini?
Yeah, aye.
Okay, and Dan Cook?
Aye.
And Tammy Sayak Bisalan?
Aye.
And Brett Colson?
Aye.
Okay. Very good. Oh, just while we're on the subject of mowing, and again, this is more of a conservation thing. So the Solek family mows the meadows in the Sofinowski, is that?
Yes, yes,
historic?
they do.
Yeah, and which Solek is that? There's a lot of Soleks.
I think Mike is the one actively doing it now.
Okay,
Mike Solak. He's the one I do business with. And
okay.
he's doing it for free this year because the select board was not happy about us paying gas money for it. And he
Oh.
said he would do it. He gets paid to do perimeter mowing around the fields to get rid of the invasives and the deadfall. But he doesn't get paid to actually mow the fields. He takes the hay as payment.
Okay.
Is
Okay.
that right, Gene?
Said the select board wasn't happy that there was money being distributed for gas for the use of the tractor?
Every year,
Yeah,
because
I just wanted to clarify. I wanted to make sure I heard that correctly.
This was a couple of years ago. They didn't want to pay any funds for mowing the field. They did pay for the brush hogging, the perimeter, but the mowing itself, they felt the money that was received from the hay, because they harvested and sold that, was sufficient.
and we're talking about pretty much one select person, year after year, Russ Fox bringing this up that they should be paying us for the hay. I think we were giving them a few $100s just for gas. It wasn't a lot of money, but every year we get the same thing at the finance committee meetings, you know. So I guess Mike finally just said, you know, I'm just going to do it for free. It's, you know, and they can't argue with that, right?
Well, there was somebody else that wanted that piece, to hay that piece.
Well, we've had other people mow it and we've had disastrous results with them. That's why we want to keep, Solak actually fertilizes the field for us. So those fields were really lousy hay for many years, but the hay's gotten better because they keep fertilizing it every year, make it better and better. So we want to give them an agreement for, you know, 3 or 4 or 5 years So they're not investing a lot of time and money into it, but we were told we can't do that either. So by the
Not even
select-
for that material, like the fertilizing material and liming and whatnot, even that?
that's what we- that's-
And where exactly is this located? Just to refresh.
What's that?
If you go into the Sofinowski property, you know where the community garden is,
Yeah,
there's a trail that goes up the hill, and on top of that hill is there's a pretty good sized meadow up there. And then there's another one, there's actually two more meadows, kind of to the northwest.
oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay, all within that area. Okay, so
Yep.
how does he
I
actually,
believe one is off of Lincoln Way, which is a dead end.
yep,
is that
Yep.
how he accesses it? Okay, I was
Yeah.
wondering if he had to go through the trails or whatnot as well.
you know, on Lincoln Road, there's a gate at the end of
Okay.
Lincoln Road that's locked, you know, so he must, I'm not sure how he gets in there, but that's the access for those upper meadows.
Right.
So,
I was just wondering, it's another benefit to have somebody who knows that sort of terrain as well. It's not like just showing up at a regular hayfield and saying, hey, do your thing. It's like someone who
Yeah.
kind of needs to understand the property, the access points, not ruin anything. So there's a benefit that the town is getting from his knowledge as well. So that's why
Yeah.
I was just surprised to hear. But
Yeah.
thank you for the background. I didn't know that. That was
Yeah.
informative.
And,
If you
the
want,
hay is-
I can show you on the,
Okay. And the hay, you know, the grass is already, you know, knee high, if not taller. And somebody, I'm not sure if it's Mike or not, but somebody has mowed a path from the top of the hill down, you know, down the side. So anyway, where are we here?
so this is one of the areas right here. This is one of the fields. This
Yeah.
is the one with the rock with the Jim Miles Memorial on it.
Yep.
That field there. Then where's Lincoln Road over here?
Yeah, I think toward the top of the
There's a
screen
field
there.
here.
Yeah, yep.
Can you see when I'm making the outline on your?
Yep. Yep.
That's helpful. Yeah.
I'm impressed with your graphic skills, Dennis.
Did you just outline the garden? Is that the garden area?
No, this
No.
is the fields that they call. This is a
Oh,
third
okay.
fourth field.
Garden area, yeah, you're there now, right, Dennis?
And the garden area is right here.
Near
You can see it
the,
right here,
yeah,
when you're by the road.
Oh, okay. All right. I understand now, right?
okay.
So yeah, that's, we will, work with Conservation Commission is trying to set up we used to have an open space committee that was in charge of land maintenance in town because the Conservation Commission is so busy with day-to-day hearings and buildings and all that kind of stuff. They really don't have much time to do the land maintenance, decide what's going to happen on the property. So we're talking about putting another committee together, a subcommittee that would just
Oh.
deal with land use issues.
Wow.
And, we could talk about trails and all kinds of good stuff with them.
Just an FYI, I got a call from Sue Broska. She said the company that mows her and the adjoining field is Turnbull, Turnbull, and they're out of Agawam.
Okay, Gary Turnbull.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, good.
And Brett, there's another parcel that's conservation managers over on Starrett Drive. I'll ask them to take a look at too. It's just a trail that needs to be periodically, maybe once a year cleared.
Okay. Okay. Now I want to tell you guys about the Massachusetts Association of Health Boards seminar that I went to a couple of weeks ago. It actually turned out to be pretty interesting. This is The reason for it was because there's a new law as of this past January that local boards of health may no longer pass any health regulation that impacts agriculture in a municipality that has an agricultural commission without first contacting the AgCom. And what happens is, this may come as no surprise to anybody, but I thought it was just the way it was phrased was pretty good. You know, there's tension between AgComs and boards of health because the way they put it was, if you're eating bacon, somebody else is smelling a pig. So what happens is, especially with the pressure on real estate development right now, there's a lot of real estate that being developed, and so what happens is you got somebody with a farm, and then somebody puts a development there, and suddenly the people in the new development think the farm is a nuisance because of what farming is, so that was the crux of it, that boards of health can't declare farming a nuisance in a town where there's an AgCom. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. A couple things. I'll try not to go on too long about this. There were, let's see, the pig thing. Yeah, so generally accepted farming procedures cannot be declared a nuisance. Let's see, there's a Massachusetts Association of Agriculture Commissions, which I did not know.
Do we belong to that?
I don't know. I'm going to look into it further.
Let's join.
Yeah. There's a recording of the meeting. I'm trying to get my hands on the PowerPoint that they used, because that's easier to kind of flip through for information than looking at a 90-minute video.
They have a Facebook page for the Mass Association of Farming Commissions.
Okay. Now, what was that? Farming commissions or ag commissions?
Ag commissions, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
they have a Facebook page.
Uh-huh.
And we should put a link to that on our page.
Yeah. Yeah, so it was pretty interesting. And there's, let's see, there's a woman named Cheryl Sabara, who's the director of the Massachusetts Association of Health Boards. And let's see, some other officials from various places. But they said that the kind of bottom line, so to speak, is that AgComs and boards of health should be talking to each other, to prevent conflicts. So anyway, I want to look into that further on our behalf. Okay. Oh, and then I wanted to see how you guys felt. I think after, and correct me, Gene and Dennis, if this has changed, after June 15th, when the governor is supposed to lift the state of emergency, we can meet again in person. And I'm kind of wondering if you guys want to do that or if you like the Zoom. I'm so used to Zoom now, and it's so convenient to just walk, from the kitchen into my office or whatever it is.
Is the town hall open for meetings at night yet? Or that, as far as I know, you can't have a meeting at night at town hall.
Yeah, I think so, but I think after June 15th, that may change. And so do we want to, I guess we got to confirm whether that's the case or not. But
Well, we got to confirm that we can still do Zoom meetings if we want to. That's
Right.
the question, if
Right.
I know I still want to do it, and I know a lot of people do, but can we still do it? It's up to Charlie Baker, because the town has not made a decision. The town could make a proclamation that they'd have to do at a town meeting that we could continue to do this, but they did not take that initiative, so.
Hmm.
Gene, did you have something you wanted to add, or?
Well, no, the AgCom can meet in town hall, but you can't have members of the public in there at night yet. So
Oh, no.
there's no way that you can do a combo.
Well, there must have been a new directive out, because the last one I got said the town hall is open during the day and not at night. Is there something new that came out since then?
Not at night to the public.
It just says not open at night, so I mean, you can't,
Oh,
I don't know.
you know, wait a minute, that'll change.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Keep us
you know,
posted.
June 15th is next Wednesday, so who knows what might happen in the
Yeah.
ensuing week.
The whole week. I just found out that Juneteenth is a holiday. Town hall's closed on June 18th to observe Juneteenth Day, which is
Okay.
on the 19th.
No kidding. I didn't know it was a
That's new to
holiday
me.
here
I
either.
never- No,
Okay.
none of us did. Just found out today.
Schools are not closed. We're
Hmm.
going to school that day.
Okay.
But town hall is, so you have to post your agendas accordingly, so.
Okay. Well, thankfully, that doesn't affect us, so we don't meet again until July 19th.
July what?
I'm sorry, July 14th. Can't read my own writing here.
It would be July 14th.
Right, wasn't it second Wednesday?
Right.
So hopefully this
Just
will
an
be sort of,
FYI, I will not be here for that.
okay.
Well, who gave you permission to not be there?
My mother.
Um,
Okay,
Okay, so.
I guess if your mom said it's all right.
Right. Let's see, we got that. So let's see, our projects, right to farm disclosures, I still need to write a letter to the select board about that, making sure that people buying property know that we're a right to farm community. Just kind of keeping it on the list here about an open farm day in the fall. And Tammy, maybe you and I can talk offline about what that might look like. I'd really like to, we have talked about a kind of a virtual tour, so to speak, but I really, if we, at all possible, I'd really love to have something in person, you know, something to bring people together somehow.
Okay.
Yeah. The community garden, we're kind of chugging along. There's, last year was fully subscribed. This year, there's several people have dropped out. There are some new people. And there's probably 5 or 6 plots still available. So, just kind of working away and trying to make the pollinator garden more of an actual garden this year. Hey, Dennis, so no plot for you this year, huh? No peas?
No, nothing. No, I got to take care of my yard at home, so I'm missing my peas though.
Hey, at Blossoming Acres, you can buy little bags of pea greens, like the little pieces
Oh,
of
yeah.
the shoots. Yeah, they're pretty good.
Yeah, those are good. Not the same. Not the same.
Well, no. And the farm brochure, I know, Marissa, you were out taking some pictures today?
Yes, and I
Yeah.
made contact with Meadows, which I hadn't done before because they were so busy earlier in the season that I couldn't really approach them. They're also okay to be in the brochure. They're very supportive and enthusiastic of it, actually. And the only thing is that they didn't want any photos taken. So I did get plenty of photos, luckily, from Kevin. Hopefully, when he's haying soon, the hill in front of the farm, I can do that. I got some photos of Calabrese, Rays, Cowards, Blossoming Acres, obviously. So I might have enough to kind of piece together there. So that should be done sooner than later. I just had a couple more newer farms in town that I wanted to check in with. Billy C's, who I don't know. So I was wondering if Brett, if you happen to know them, do you mind approaching them and asking them if they would be open to being on the farm brochure? Because I think they would count as a business. I mean, it's an apiary.
Yeah, no, I can talk to them.
Okay, and then I also wanted to add Andrew Solek's apiary business, and I just have to text him and ask him. I know he's small, but you know, sells at Cowards and he's getting visibility, so I'd like to help promote him as well.
Mhm.
Yeah. What was that? Excuse me, Marissa, what was that second apiary you mentioned?
Andrew Solek's, it's called 413B. Is that it, Jean? 413B?
I don't know.
It's my nephew.
Do I know them?
Farm. Yeah, do you know him? I think it's 413B. I mean, they have a business card and I see them selling at a few farms around town. And it's at the farm itself, right? Like,
Yeah,
the
he
mom's
does
place?
have the hives at the farm.
Yeah, I see him working on it all the time.
I didn't know he was selling it.
Oh yeah, he has it at Cowards. He has nice business cards. It always sells out. It's good honey. So I'd like to try to throw him on there. I think it's 413B. So I just need to text Andrew and get the okay from him.
Did you get Firefly Fields?
I did not. No, thank you for mentioning that. I knew there was one more place I was missing. So thank you for mentioning that. And I think I do have their contact info from what you gave me previously. So
Yeah,
Who's,
she's
um,
so, Lindsay is so nice and she wants to actually become involved in the Ag Commission. She lost her job during the whole COVID year and a half now. So now she's a full-time farmer
great.
and
Wow.
her goat yoga classes are selling out and she has like come visit the farm and she has a very active Facebook page too and sells you know, goat milk, soap, lotions, all that stuff.
Huh. And it's called Firefly Fields? Yeah?
Yeah. It's on Bab Road, so it's like it's all the way up at the end and then it doesn't look like there's anything there and then you see the house and then you're like, oh, and it's kind of a really cool hidden field.
Interesting. Yeah. Speak,
Marissa, if the Right to Farm sign's been fabricated yet?
No, so I changed vendors because the other vendor, Westfield Sign, by the time I got DOT approval in mid-May, which took months longer than it should have, their prices had gone up by $1,000. So I managed to get another quote from East Coast Signs. Randy Brown recommended them. I need to get a PO, an invoice from them, right, Jean? That's what you said this afternoon?
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, just finesse the design with them a little bit because they were ready to go to production yesterday and I looked at the proof and they changed the design a lot. So that being said, it takes about 7 days. So I sent them a new proof this morning really early. So that should be done within the next week. And they said, Jean, that when I asked them for an invoice earlier, they said that they would contact you. So should I insist on getting an invoice from them so that they get paid in time within the fiscal year and everything?
unless I get an invoice dated prior to July 1st, it will not come out of the fiscal year 21 budget.
Okay.
And the purchase order that I already generated on the quotes that you sent will need to be carried over. I did do a purchase order for that $1,470 some odd dollars to that one place. And
That's
300,
fabricating. Yeah. So that's East Coast. So there's a purchase order there, but you need the invoice then.
yes.
And same for Westfield Sign because they helped us get the layout right. If it hadn't been for them, we wouldn't have gotten DOT approval. So they're charging like $300 for the layout help they gave.
Right. Yes, I have the purchase order for $1,478 and another one for $300.
Okay, just got the invoices though. Okay.
I
all right.
need invoices.
All right, I'll write Tom this evening and get the invoice from him and from the Westfield people too. Okay.
Okay.
just a little bit of a tangent here, but Marissa, you mentioned Billy C. it's funny, there was in the Westfield News, we subscribe to the Springfield Republican, believe it or not, we still get the newspaper. And if you do, if you do that, you automatically get the Westfield News.
That's
And
the only way you can get the Westfield News. Only way. You have to get the Springfield paper. I don't want the Springfield paper. I just want the Westfield. They won't do it. You
Really?
have to get-
Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah,
Have to get it. Yeah.
yeah. Well, you can pick it up, at the Pride Station or whatever.
That's what we've been doing.
Anyway, so there's an article in the Westfield News a couple of weeks ago, and Billy C was looking for pieces of property where he could essentially
Yeah.
store hives. And I thought, there's a little piece of the Sofanowski that's between my house and the community garden. I thought, wow, perfect. So I emailed him and I haven't heard a word back. So I don't know what happened there. But, Brett, if you're talking to him, maybe I say, hey, you still need some places for your hives?
Mhm.
I don't know.
Yeah, I could run that by him too, Bert, for sure.
Okay, all right, good.
Is his name actually Billy? Or is that
Mhm.
being named after a family member? Or?
No, yeah, right, Bill Crawford, right?
Yep, Billy Crawford.
Yep.
Yeah.
Then we had a question or some emails some days ago about 2 acres at Nicholson Hill Road, and we thought that it's too small, for 60, for any of the preservation designations. But Marissa, I think you're trying to see if there's a way around that, or
Or just what resources there are for that. Yeah, I still haven't heard from MDAR. I'm also going to write for Land for Good. Sometimes they seem to know more, these non-governmental organizations, they seem to know a lot more about potential avenues of supporting small farmers who are less than 5 acres, who don't fall under 61A or APR. So still working on that, but have not heard from MDAR yet. I have to write them again. I think they always take a bit to get back.
well, that's great that you're doing that. And, it's only been a week or so.
Yeah, about 5 days. Yeah, it's not too bad for them. Usually takes them a few weeks. Yeah. But yeah, no, I think that would be important to know, just to have as a reservoir of knowledge, because it seems like more people are starting to approach AgCom. So the more we know, I think the better.
Okay, awesome. I don't know, Dennis, have you heard anything further about the Kellogg properties from Mark Noonan, is it?
I did talk to Mark Noonan. He's apologized for being lax and not getting back to he said the Kestrel was interested, but he never followed through with it, but he said he would.
Okay,
Hopefully we can get something going there. I did get a call from Levesque's office saying that they were going to do a perk test in the property next to Mr. Cicchini's. And I'm not sure how they're going to get across the brook. I told them I want to be there when they do the test, because, technically they're kind of exempt from the Wetlands Protection Act to do test holes and borings, but they still can't make a mess. So I want to make sure that that's done right. But
Well, I understand they want to bring a big excavator across the brook.
yeah,
I don't know how they're going to do that.
I don't
They
either. I don't
approached,
either.
what's the place next to me? And they-
Kellogg Brothers? No.
No, what's the development next to me? The next,
The beer, the
Yep.
brewery?
where Brian lives.
Oh, yeah.
Uh,
Coming from behind.
Yeah,
Um,
and they voted against them cross. There's a barrier,
Amberleaf, is that what it's called?
Amberley, yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a barrier
Yeah.
between the properties.
So I want to let you know, Ron, that they said they're going to be going out there. I told the Board of Health that I wanted to be notified when I
Yeah.
want to see how they're going to do this without making a mess. So I'll let you
Well,
know.
I also heard the people have put their house in at Loomis Ridge up for sale.
Yeah. Oh, they're going to need a lot of money if they want to build over there.
They're getting a lot of money.
So anyway, Mark, I'll invite Mark Noonan to our next agricultural meeting and see if we get an
Okay.
update from him.
Okay, yeah, great, yeah. Okay, very good. Dan or Ron, anything on the Tannery Road properties? Any further contact?
No. Not yet.
And then, the Davis property on Sheep Pasture.
I
anybody-
met with Lois. I met with Lois last week. She's been taking her time to really be diligent about filling out the application for APR. And I'm telling her just to get it submitted because there'll be a lot of questions afterwards. But I sat there and went through it with her. She got it submitted last week. I got an email from Barbara
Oh.
Hobson saying that Boston received it. And I expressed to Barbara that I sat with Lois and her husband, Bob, for a while. And what Bob told me is what he's looking for from the APR is exactly what this program was designed for, to keep the property in farming, to give his children a little bit of seed money to work with so they can keep up the property, because it does take a lot of time and money to do that. And everything he told me was exactly what this APR program was designed for. Plus, come to find out, he was a scout leader and he's done so much for this town with the scout troops, him and Lois. I nominated him for the Rotary Vocational Service Awards for this year. After hearing what he's done for this town, I thought they'd be a perfect candidate for it. So
Yeah, nice.
I told Barbara, whatever we can do to help promote this, this is definitely what the APR program was designed for. We'll keep you posted.
Okay, yeah, good.
Dennis, a question on perk tests. The way they build septic systems now, it's all above ground, isn't it?
No.
No?
They dig deep hole. They have to dig a hole deep enough that it's not just a small hole they dig and they pour water in. They have to bring a big backhoe and dig a big hole, big enough for you can get in it and go down there, look at the different layers of soils. It's quite extensive.
Wow.
Then they might have to bring in tons and tons of Title V sand if they don't have good enough sand. But
Jesus, right.
let you know when it's.
I'd hate to see them dig in there too. It's all rock.
Yeah, well, they're gonna do what they're gonna do. We're just gonna see what happens.
Yeah. It'll happen.
So it's curious that, they have a place on Loomis Ridge that's not for sale. They want to go through all this to build a
I
new
know,
house.
a beautiful home. They got a beautiful home.
Yeah,
Well, they want to cut back, they only have one child left at home and
okay. This is,
on one level.
this is their version of downsizing, maybe?
Yeah, I know.
I don't know.
Buy a condo.
Okay, there's a couple of quick notes. There's also been emails about, the annual conflict of interest assessment that we should all do. And now, don't we have to get reappointed by the select board now and get sworn in again?
That's a damn good question. Every year, it's usually after the fact that they let us know that, oh, you weren't supposed to vote at the last meeting because you never got sworn in, but how would we know unless somebody tells us? I don't know. Gene, can you check on that for us?
Yeah, I'll check on it tomorrow.
Check on for conservation too. As these things come up and bite us. I'm not sure. It was designed so that everybody was not supposed to be reappointed on the same year, but I don't know if they follow that rule.
Well, I believe there's a lack of help right now in the select board's office because Robin is on grand jury duty. So they have just two temporary people in there right now. That's it.
You just take care of it then, okay, Gene?
No, thank you.
But everybody got the link to that? I sent a link off, so it's easy just to click on it instead of having to write all that stuff down. Everybody didn't get the link, let me know and I'll send it again.
I already did mine.
All right.
Yeah, Zach gets the gold star.
And also there's a proposed Carvana business on College Highway down near Westfield City Brewing, or whatever the name of that brewery is now, former Chuck's. And I think there's going to be a hearing about that.
No, it's not there. It's on Tannery Road. It's across
On
from.
Tannery, across from-
Supply.
Yeah.
Across from Supply, set in the back. Did anybody go to the planning board meeting last night to find out what they talked about?
No, I didn't.
I didn't.
Well,
No, they're planning on taking those barns down, and I don't know if they're gonna pave the entire field or what, but.
I wanted to go to that too, and they're talking about one either an email or an article I saw said that it'll just be, there won't be much traffic impact because it'll just be the employees going back and forth with the cars that they have. And then later in this article, I guess it was, they're planning on 400 employees.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a big business.
is this already approved? I mean, is the purchase sale like gone through? I mean,
The planning board is in the process of approving it, and the select board has been totally in favor of getting this project approved. So I think it'd be unlikely that it doesn't get approved. They changed the water moratorium. I haven't been really keeping up with it very much, but people are not happy because they can't water their lawns, but they're going to be able to give Carvana, they're going to use a lot of water. Carvana's planning on using a lot of water to wash those cars. So.
in terms of town governance, I'm just curious how this all works. This is still kind of new to me. When
We
something
don't
like this-
have enough time. We don't have enough time tonight to figure it all out. But
No, but this being a farming property, and was this like up for 61A at one point, or was right?
Griffin Lake, this was a tobacco farm, it was Culbro Tobacco Farm. They went out of business, I don't know, 30, 40 years ago. They've been marketing this property for the exorbitant amount of money for many years. There's one guy's job is just to get as much money out of that property as possible. And they found somebody that's willing. I don't know how much it's going for, but it's got to be some ridiculous amount, because a piece next door for less than 30 acres of landlocked Red Willowitz land that abuts the rail trail went for $225,000.
Something like
So,
that.
Something like that, yeah.
In terms of the zoning board or planning board or whoever like gives, I guess, the green light for this stuff, apart from the select board, is there like any say that the town people can have in like a big
Well,
business that's going into the downtown?
Yeah, that's why you need to go to the planning board meetings and make yourself vocal if you have any kind of questions or opposition to it. They had a meeting last night, and there's going to be another meeting on it, and people just don't show up. So, you really can't complain about it.
Advertised. They're not advertised
Exactly. When's the next meeting, Dennis?
about this.
Well,
Like,
the big thing is they've been calling it the Bailey Project, so it doesn't even say Carvana on their agenda.
Yeah, exactly. It's like the Manhattan Project.
It is.
well, exactly. Yeah. I mean, a lot of people don't know about it. So how can they
Yeah.
possibly begin to like be vocal about it? So it just seems like it's not really
Yeah,
transparent.
I agree there. I
We
think
have
it's
a
all
lot of things
kind of.
going on in this town because people don't pay attention. You've got to be on guard, looking out for everything, because nobody's going to come up and tell you.
Well,
they
it
have a
should be. It shouldn't have to be that way, but it just is. It's the way it always has been, and always seems to gonna be.
Well,
Yeah.
this being potential farmland, I don't understand why we as an AgCom can't at least make it known to the public. I mean, if our goal is to like at least preserve,
What
protect.
are you going to do? We can't afford to buy it. We can't preserve it.
No,
You can't
can't. No, but let the public know about it, because then it gives citizens the opportunity. to
Yeah, I
vote
mean,
for
if
opposition. I
there was
think it's
kickback
good.
and like backlash towards it, I mean, then people would probably, I mean, they'd
Yeah.
think twice maybe about putting it here. I mean,
That's what happened with Lexington Circle when Verizon wanted to put up the cell tower there. And they had
Yep.
permission to do it one time, but then the neighbors all got together, they barnstormed the planning board and they talked the planning board into denying the project. And they didn't really even have a reason to deny it. Now the town's getting sued by Verizon because you have to have a reason to deny a project. You can't just arbitrarily say the neighbors
Right.
didn't like it anymore. So,
So,
like
and
I
this
said-
That should be good
corporation has
enough.
more rights than the townspeople, like Verizon gets away with suing the town of Southwick, like, I
They have
mean,
more money.
right, sure.
Yeah.
it's neat, but At some point, like, you'd hope that the people who are on the select board listen to what their people are saying. Or at least there needs to be an arena for that, like a proper arena. And I wonder if we as an AgCom can just alert people about farmland that is potentially in danger, we don't have to necessarily go through the motions and try to save it ourselves, but maybe we can make it more visible. I don't know, or at least.
People have been talking about it on the Southwick Community Forum pages on Facebook. I mean, we could kind of copy that to ours, but I don't think we have that many followers on the AgCom one.
We don't have any followers. Well,
Dennis, do you know when that next meeting is?
yeah, I think it's the 20, hold on, look at the calendar.
Every 2 weeks, right? So the 22nd, maybe?
Yeah, 22nd, yeah.
Let's all go.
Yeah, where is it?
yeah, let's all go.
The Zoom meeting, there was a Zoom meeting last night and I looked on Facebook, people said they waited till like 9 o'clock or 9:30 and nobody hung around to find out what happened. So I don't even know what happened at the meeting. So
Weird, man. It just sounds so weird.
It should have been recorded, right?
Shady.
Yeah, it's all recorded, yeah.
Should
And how
be.
do we access that? YouTube?
Yep. But there's nothing in the Agricultural Commission. We've talked to these people. Griffin Land has another piece of land over on North Long Yard Road, backs up to Proven Mountain. Gorgeous, gorgeous piece of land, be a great land to preserve, great land for farmland, but we'll never get it because they want top dollar for that property. We tried to see if we get a farmer to buy it and put it into APR, but they
Yeah.
want so much money for the property that it makes it not feasible.
Right. But I still think that we as an AgCom can act as a platform so that people in the community know when something is being threatened. And then maybe as citizens, they can band together and do something. I think we have that responsibility to give visibility to those places that might be threatened. But yeah, in terms of the actual mechanisms that we have at our disposal, like you're saying, Dennis, it's so limited. There's no money for it. But I don't know.
I guess that's
something.
Facebook is great for that. You can get stuff on,
Yeah.
put them on the Facebook
Yeah,
page,
right.
they get information out.
The flyers potentially as well. I mean, I don't have any social media. There's a lot of people, leaving Facebook. Like I have no social media. So I don't know if flyers are helpful or the old school way, like permissible.
We have to pick and choose our battles and, that wasn't one that we had any chance of ever winning. The
It
one
just
I
seems
closed-
so odd whenever anything major and massive like that, like a massive undertaking, it takes place in this town. It's always seems like it just boom, all of a sudden they're underway on this huge, massive project, and it's like nobody ever really was.
Yeah,
just
Yeah.
there.
They kept it under wraps for a year now. They've been discussing this for probably
It's
a
like,
year.
why though? If it's such a good thing, well, they should be boasting about it.
Exactly. I agree with you.
Right.
Yeah.
If it's such a universally great thing, I could personally go without it.
Right.
Yeah.
Understand more about the kinds of jobs. Are these 400 jobs that are going to stay like for more than a year, or is it just the first 6 months they're going to have 400 employees? So just feel like, yeah, there's so many questions about whether it's actually going to benefit the town long term.
I mean, I don't think that's going to be 400 employees locally right there. I've been to a Carvana, the one out in Southern California, and there's definitely not that many employees like on premises there. I mean, it runs minimalistically, I would say.
Yeah, it's
It's
like
like a-
skeleton crews. That's the whole idea.
Yeah.
That's why they're able to
Right.
charge cheaper for their cars.
Right.
That's their
Yeah.
business model. So that's why, anyways, when's the next meeting again, Dennis? You said it's June.
22nd?
Yeah,
Okay, well,
And-
maybe we can do a little bit of flyering in the meantime and just let people know that it's happening, because, yeah.
Right.
I don't think it's gonna get too much traction on it because I think that they're not gonna get a tax break either, and that's a big thing. The last project they wanted, they were a trucking company, which I was totally against. They're gonna give tax breaks too, and there's gonna be, 100 trucks coming and going a day. I don't see that happening with this project, so
Yeah.
personally, I don't have a thought one way or the other on it. I would have liked to said it, seen it kept as farmland, but we can't keep everything as farmland. We know that.
No,
Right.
of course not. But you also can't sell the town's like future and potential either. And I think people have the right to speak up and at least know.
Or at
You know,
least
what's happening
no, I
here
mean, what's
now.
it hurting?
Yeah,
Exactly, like, just
Free
selling out our
spirits,
town to an internet company, that doesn't feel great, like.
Yeah,
To
yeah.
a rural
Seriously.
recreational community, it's like sad.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah,
agree, Marissa, I think it's right in the town warrant that created the AgCom. I think there's language in there about being advocates, and, and, maybe we don't stop the Carvana project. Maybe after a little while, people start getting the idea, hey, there's this group of people that are trying to preserve farmland here. And that to me seems like a message that people would connect with,
Yeah, like even
well, I
Chris
don't know. Well,
reaching out to Dennis was like an example of that. There are people that care, and it's just they need to make the connections and have conversations and meet each other, and we can do something potentially down the line. Maybe not Carvana, but who knows?
let's
Maybe
try,
it's
let's
Hill.
try for the property on Coast Hill Road. Let's get
Yeah,
as
there you
much
go.
of a possibility. We have a possibility, and that's a much better piece to try to preserve,
Yeah.
I think, personally.
Yeah. Hey, I'm a child of the 60s, so I think we get out there with some signs, we start marching.
I'm with you on that. but-
Hurt, it won't hurt it.
So, anyway. That was a good conversation. I'm glad we talked about that.
I think it's like a longer term vision, like goal, for the AgCom and for the town. So I'm glad we had it too.
And then just want to keep it on the list that, there's going to be a parade October 16th. So maybe I think we said maybe last month, maybe we get together with the Conservation Commission, have a float of some kind, or, some kind of presence in the
Yeah.
parade. So,
Dan said he would haul something with his tractor, right? Be able to,
oh, there you go. Yeah.
we'll get something.
Something with my tractor.
Yeah. Okay.
Should have a presence, yeah.
Okay. Well, I think that's our agenda. Does anybody else have anything else for the good of the order, as I like to say?
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, everyone. Yeah, I guess we need a motion to adjourn. Yes. So I'll make a motion that we adjourn. Somebody have a second? Okay, thanks, Brett. I'll vote aye. Brett, how do you vote?
Aye.
Aye. Ron?
I,
Okay, Dan?
Aye.
Tammy?
Hi.
Marissa? And Zach?
I,
Oh, and Dennis, I'm sorry.
Aye.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, good night, everybody.
Good night, all. Thank you so
Bye.
much.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Dean. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah.
Good to see everyone.
Same
Yeah.
here.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Night.